Thank you, Spence.
It is still working on loading it, Christy. It's given me
Yay,
a
that's good.
background. The bar is taking a little while, but it's probably because I haven't done this before, so it has to load everything fresh.
Hold on. Thank you, Spence.
It is still working on loading it, Christy. It's given me
Yay,
a
that's good.
background.
No worries, just give the thumbs up.
A while, but it's probably because I haven't done this before, so it has to load everything fresh. Okay, we are ready to go, Christy.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Saratoga Springs Library Board meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 13th, and our meeting is beginning at 6:36 p.m. But before we start on our agenda items, I was asked to read the same paragraph that we read last month. So I'll begin with that. It says, I, Christy Jepson, the chair of the City of Saratoga Springs Library Board, hereby determine that conducting the City Council, the Saratoga Springs Library meeting at an anchor location presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at the anchor location. The World Health Organization, the President of the United States, the Governor of Utah, and the County Health Department have all recognized a global pandemic exists related to the new strain of the coronavirus SARS-CoV-19. Due to the state of emergency caused by the global pandemic, I find that conducting a meeting at an anchor location under the current state of public health emergency constitutes a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at the location. This written declaration expires 30 days from the date signed. So, all right, so now we can officially begin with our call to order. Present are, Joy, do you want to start?
Joy, sorry, I had my mute on.
Thanks, Joy.
Karen Brown.
Okay, Christy Jepson, and excuse Brandy Miners, and then guest Melissa Director. Public comment.
I've checked the library inbox. We have no pending public comment at this moment.
Okay, perfect. We need to make a motion to approve the August 11th minutes before we go on to last month's minutes. So can
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Joy. First, second.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Karen. And then roll call vote.
Hi. All right, do I have to say the name?
Aye.
Okay, aye. Thank you, and that passed. So now we need to approve the September 6th last month's meeting. So could I have a first?
I'll motion.
Thank you, Joy.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Karen. Now, could we roll call vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, pass, perfect. Now on to the fun stuff. Service and circulation policy review and recommendations from board members. So Melissa emailed that to you. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about that?
Let me see. Forgot to look that over. Dang it. Hold on. No. Did I leave the meeting? What happened?
I don't have any comments on the.
Yeah. Now I don't know where I'm at now. Dang it.
Okay, Melissa, can you just go over
Found you guys again.
the big changes or the recommendations or any?
Yes, I can. I have the red lines. I'm working on pulling it up so that you guys can see.
Bring it over here. Let me look at it.
Sorry, I didn't.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up too.
Stir it on the counter for a moment. We'll taste it in a little bit. Make sure it's okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Um,
that policy for you guys to be able to?
yeah, you can just lower it a little bit. So like 2.5.
Well, you'll want to mute your.
Sorry.
So I've pulled up and shared the screen with all of the red line edits for you guys.
Okay,
So I am scrolling down. Actually, let me make sure we're in the red line. Show markup. There's not a lot of changes in this first few sections. What I'd like to do is we have our Chromebooks and our iPads that as of right now, we're just kind of sitting in the library. And with COVID, unfortunately, we can't just let people sit in the library and use our computers. So I wanted to take the opportunity to allow people to check those things out so that they can send their wireless printing and other documents to us for a 14-day period where it would become equipment they could check out 2 on an account for 14 days. And that adds a whole special collections section here.
that's an awesome service, I think.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
it does cover the legalese. I took it from another library as concept, and says it becomes the responsibility of the patron. The holds and renewals rules apply, that they need to be returned in person at our front desk because we definitely don't want equipment like this dropped in the drop. I am proposing, just because I know the return on the investment for these materials, an overdue cost of $5 per day for each of these items. They're getting them for 2 weeks. I feel like they should be able to bring it back. Especially if we end up with a hold list. I have no idea what this will do specifically.
Yeah,
So we would limit the holds on these on these specific things to holding for only 3 days instead of our normal 7, so that if we do end up with a line, we're not waiting 7 days for a Chromebook to go out with each person.
yeah.
And then there was also,
Hey, Melissa, will these be quarantined for 3 days when they're returned?
no, we are not quarantining items anymore.
Okay.
The computer will be real easy for us to wipe down as they come back with the wipes. Much easier than cleaning books or any of our other items have been,
Yeah.
to be honest. And then we said we would only renew these things one time versus our normal 3 renewals. Again, in case we end up with that holds list on these items and or because of their high value, wanting to make sure that we know where they are more than 6 months down the road.
Yeah,
And then that $5 fine per day would go in there. We'd move equipment, we'd put launch pads, the library of things, and recreation equipment all under that.
so do they come with a case or anything, or just the Chromebook itself?
We're working on getting boxes for them to go in.
Oh,
So they'll
perfect.
have a box with the charging cable and the various things that they'll need. The Alpine School District, my understanding is for some people making hotspots available so that they have Wi-Fi access in those homes that may not have it. But I know that we have a lot of customers that would love to come in and use our computers, and unfortunately, with our layout, making those computers available right now, just it physically isn't possible in our space. But if we can check out a Chromebook to them, they can use that. Technically, they could even use it in the parking lot because the Wi-Fi extends to in the parking lot. So I'm trying to be creative here about how we can get these services to people without violating any of the governor's recommendations for COVID.
Yeah,
And then it had said 2 months. I just changed it to where it says 60 days because everything else throughout this whole policy specifically says a number of days versus we had 14 days, 7 days, 21 days. It just reads more consistently when I reread that. I have not had the attorney review it because before I even went to them with this, I wanted to make sure the board was comfortable with this as a concept.
Great.
yeah, no, that's great.
Okay.
I like the consistency.
If you think I'm going down the wrong path, they're sitting in our cupboard and I'm like, I'd love to be able to serve people as much as we can. And if that's sending these things home with them right now, that's sending these things home.
The only
Yeah.
thing I worry about is circulation, how much damage do you see like each person possibly doing it? Like how often would we have to replace it?
So honestly,
Yeah.
with equipment, I think people are far more respectful than they are with books. And part of that is that they're bringing it in and handing it to us when they bring it back. I would say we may have a loss of one a year based on
Oh,
the
really?
libraries I've
Hmm.
spoken to. But a high overdue cost of $5 per day will usually, for those people who are going to come back and continue using services, it'll usually turn them around and they'll bring it right back in because they don't want that fine.
And
Um,
sorry.
and if they choose not to bring it back, they would just be billed it for the item like it's a lost item.
So what happens if like they spill something on the keys or something like that? Like how much is that gonna cost for the patron?
That honestly, our replacement policy varies on how much items have checked out. So if that item's checked out 75 times, we feel like at that point we've gotten our use and our money spent out of it. Versus if it's a brand new item, we just bought it, it's only checked out 3 or 4 times, we would turn around and we'd say, I'm sorry, but you're responsible for either whatever it costs us to repair it or purchase a new one if it's not fixable.
I didn't know it was by circulation part of
Yeah.
the cost. That's interesting.
If
Because
if something's
yeah.
checked out 125 times, we figure our return on investment has been returned and it's just used its lifespan.
Okay, because I worry about just how much it would cost if it accidentally gets ruined by patron. Like how much would they be in debt for this?
So when we purchased them, they were about $175 a piece.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's, well, it's still a lot for some people, but I was worried that it would be because I don't want somebody to be well, still for some people that's in over their heads for that cost, but still. Okay, that makes me feel better. I didn't know if we were like loaning out like $500 or $1,000 pieces or anything like that.
No, I do the backs to school sales and I buy them on my credit card because it's actually cheaper to do that than it is to purchase as a government agency. So
I can see
I
that.
go out and I get them at those sales and that's how we replace that equipment as we need to.
Which tomorrow, I think is tomorrow the 13th, the Amazon Prime
Yeah.
day is coming up. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That's, and only one lost a year. That's amazing. Only one got
These are
damaged.
larger communities than ours too. So
Well,
if we're only losing one a year, I feel like.
I'm hoping it's like that. Yeah.
Okay, so if I have the board's blessing, I will go ahead and run this policy and revisions through the city council and the city attorney's office. The
Awesome.
council, because it would change the fines for the $5 per day for the overdue cost. So they have to approve any fines and fees for the city. And then the attorney just to verify that everything's okay.
Thank you for going through all that work. That's amazing.
Yeah, that looks very good, Melissa. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen unless you guys would like to
Okay.
see for a little
No,
longer.
looks good. Looks
No,
good.
thank you. Okay, thank you. So now we'll go right back to Melissa and have her do the director's report, the financial statement, and COVID-19 impacts.
So I will say COVID-19 impacts have really hit us today. I am short-staffed. I am actually running our drive-up service right now and our returns as I participate in this meeting. And then we also heard today that there's been changes to the governor's updates. So I will be reading that tonight. And if we need to make any changes to our service, I'll make sure to communicate those to you guys in city administration. We're continuing to see growth in the numbers of people that are coming in every day. Drive-up service is declining a little bit, but that's because people are taking the opportunity to walk in the front door now that they can. The fire department and I worked together. They allowed us to increase our capacity to 20 patrons at a time in the library. I think it's sometime between the last meeting and our current meeting that happened. As long as all the customers are wearing masks and or following the mask provisions laid out by Utah County. Other than that, my staff are getting by. They're doing the best they can. Our customers are happy we're here. And to be honest, I have not had a chance to review our financial statement for the month because I've been filling in other places. So I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
No worries. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand being busy.
Okay. Did you want to say Grab and go and wireless printing.
Oh, thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
Wireless printing is now installed. It's one of those things that the CARES grant covered the cost for us for the next 2 years, which has been one of the pieces I've been working towards getting implemented before we start circulating the Chromebooks. So customers from their mobile device, from home, from their computer, can send their colored jobs or black and white jobs in through our wireless portal. And it lays out all of those details. They come in, we have the portal, we pull it up, we say, hey, what was the email address it was under? And we print it off for them and they can pick it up. So that made printing available to customers again without making the public computers available.
Yeah.
Downside, we did the very first day that I ran the desk after we implemented it, have someone send their print job to the New York Public Library. So
Oh, the Saratoga Springs, New York.
Yeah.
That's so
apparently they use the
I
exact
have a friend actually that lives there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So that's funny.
So, yeah, that happened that very first day. And I'm like, well, can I see your confirmation for email? And she's down and I'm like, oh, well, that's not us. I'm sorry.
Does she have to pay for both then, or?
No, because the jobs don't actually print until you show up at the
Oh, good.
front desk
Oh,
and
Awesome.
ask us to print them, or the reference desk, depending on which library it is and how they're laid out. So we're actually saving money by not printing things until customers show up to.
oh yeah.
How
How much is it, Melissa, for patrons to do that?
10 cents a page for black ink only, 25 cents a page if they're going to use color. And then right now, because we have to run cards for all of our financial transactions, it needs to come to a minimum of $1 for us to run a card.
Mhm. Okay.
Which it saved my butt plenty of times when my printers has died. So I'm glad you guys are able to offer that again.
Yeah.
So am I. We ended up on a 3-month waiting list. So I got this grant money back in July, and it took until last week or the week before the company was able to implement for us, because everyone is doing it now.
That's
Great.
that's awesome though.
And then grab and go service was the increase of 20 people at a time in the library with
Oh,
fire.
yes.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yep. Perfect. Hey, anything else? Anybody have any questions before we dismiss?
Nope.
No, thanks, Melissa, for all your hard work,
Thank you.
doing multiple hats there. Have
Yeah.
the staff, are the staff quarantined and,
Some,
Okay.
we have a variety of different methods with that, where when possible, as they're awaiting test results, I will let them work from home on webinars and the different training things. I've enrolled everyone in a training opportunity
Mhm.
during COVID, some of our training money, figuring this is a good time for them to be doing that. And if they do have something come up where they have to be quarantined, it gives them the opportunity to work from home through quarantine.
That's amazing.
That
That's
is
great.
amazing.
But they are also all eligible for the sick leave that's put even for part-time people with COVID. So if they are really feeling sick and need the time, the city will pay them for that time.
Great.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Has
right,
anyone
well-
gotten sick yet? Have any of the workers gotten sick yet?
None have gotten positive results on the test.
They've been sick, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those, we're all over the place with health things. And
Yeah.
I can tell you, my husband quarantined at one point and had to go through a test. I was like, I'm working from home while we wait for this, just in case.
It's fun.
Yeah, crazy times for sure. Okay, if we don't have any more comments or questions, we will adjourn at looking at the date, not the time, 6:54.
I motion.
And thank you, Joy. You'll be first motion. Do we have a second to
I
end the
second
meeting?
the motion.
Thank you, Karen. And then roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, everyone, we'll see you at
Okay.
next meeting on Tuesday, November 10th. So
Right.
thanks for joining
Okay.
us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.